Happy New Year!
Happy New Year!
Sorry this video is out so late. December is very busy for me at work, and because of that, it caused us to have to push, and now we're here making the video in 2024.
Yeah.
So we're going to do our likes and dislikes and some tips for our MSC Seascape cruise that we just did.
Yeah, and so before we get started, give this video a like, subscribe, do all that good stuff so we can keep doing this. And so we're gonna get into the likes of our MSC cruise. These are just a few of the things that stood out, I guess comparable to what we had heard before our cruise. And so I guess we'll debunk the myths, or what is it?
Or prove they're right.
Okay, so we've got 6 things that really stood out to us that we liked.
The cruise staff was extremely nice, whether it was guest services, to our main dining, to the bar service, no matter where we went, our room service attendant was extremely nice.
Yeah, and that was one of the things we heard ahead of time, that the staff was really rude, and I thought, we didn't encounter that at all. I will say that some of the guests were pretty rude, and maybe the staff responded that way, but for us, I mean, it was great.
Our second like, at least for me, was that there's sports in the sports bar, and they had more games on than any other cruise ship that we've been on so far. And also you can get ESPN in your room, which is not like any other
Which is crazy
ship.
Because Disney owns ESPN, and you could not, I mean, you really didn't get much sports at all. So
now, side note, we have not been on Royal in a while, so I don't know currently how their sports are.
Spoiler, it's in 2 weeks.
Yeah. So we'll be able to at least be able to tell then.
But the sports bar in general, not just the amount of sports on TV, but the whole vibe, the staff at the bar, everything was really great in the sports bar area. So.
Above the bar, they ran a ticker, and it would show different, say different things about, like, a player was out, or the score of a game, or headlines from games. So that was really neat. Yeah,
and if you watched our other MSC video, I think I showed a little bit of that. So, all right, so number 3 of our likes, I'm gonna say the dance parties, because I'm a dance party weirdo, if you ask my husband here. I love a good dance party, and all the parties on the MSC ship were very high energy. It wasn't your typical line dance music that you get on like Carnival and Disney and Norwegian. The dance parties, I guess because it's a European cruise, you're gonna get more variety of songs, which we didn't even know half the songs, but it was great. I mean, it was very high energy. Again, I think I put some of that in the other video, some of the clips of the parties. It was great.
It was the Wi-Fi. It was extremely good. And matter of fact, we were able to watch a couple of recorded shows on the last night of the cruise. Wasn't a whole lot going on like most cruise ships. We were packing up and we wanted to catch up on a show from back home. And so we were able to stream it on my phone and had no problems whatsoever.
Okay, number 5 would be the bar service. Another thing we heard was that the bar service was very slow. You're gonna wait 30 minutes for a drink. Again, not an issue. I mean, we had free bar service, so we thought also that because, there's a package that includes it, we were gonna have to wait. We had no problem. We pretty much walked up everywhere, and the ship was crowded. It was 100% full from what we heard, and we had no issues with bar service. And the bartenders were really polite, and we would ask for a water, and you can get 2 or 3. They didn't care. Same with the soda. I think the last day we grabbed a few extra sodas for the way home. They didn't care.
And also, I had heard before that depending on which package you book or what's included, that it's hard to tell which drinks come with it. And we didn't have a problem with that. They were very attentive to explaining if that drink was or was not part of what you had purchased ahead of time.
Yeah, I mean, the menus itself, I mean, everything is well marked, and if you do your research ahead of time and know how much your package allows, there should be no issue.
No.
Yeah.
Number 6 is the dinner service. It was extremely quick. We came in right when they opened the door. We sat down. Our waiter would come over. They would bring our drinks, bread. then he would come through and take the order. And I think we were averaging about 45 to 55 minutes in and out.
Yeah. All right. So you ready to get into the dislikes?
The dislikes.
Oh, I hate doing these, but there are things we did not like about the cruise. So things, I mentioned it already. I'm going to take the first few dislikes. Shocking. They're all around food. This is a big one for me. And we're, again, if you've watched our other videos, we're not picky eaters at all. But one of the big dislikes was, for instance, the lunch. It was only open at the sit-down restaurant for 1 hour.
Yeah.
And I believe that was on sea days.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was on sea days only. So the same thing with breakfast. Breakfast was only served in the main dining room for like an hour and a half every morning.
And they're always like odd times.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you're on vacation. Who's getting up at like 8 o'clock in the morning to have breakfast?
Lots of people, just not us.
Yeah, I guess so. But that was very disappointing for me because I do like. I mean, I don't mind a buffet. I'm whatever, but I'd like to go sit and have a nice breakfast sometimes, you know. So my third dislike, again, food, but there's no complimentary food to snack on outside of your like lunch or restaurant hours.
Yeah.
So again, I'm comparing it to another cruise line, which we're going to do a video after we do the Royal ship, but there's just nothing to snack on. I like to eat other times. I mean, I guess, I don't know if that's a European thing. They only eat 3 meals a day, but on the food, I didn't like the buffet. I didn't really like any of the food on this ship. And most of the food was cold, and I'm kind of weird. I do like my food hot, so that was a big negative for me. Again, I'll eat chicken fingers and mac and cheese every day, but it's got to be hot. And they didn't have chicken fingers and mac and cheese.
However, though, they did have chicken fingers or like chicken bites at the kids, and you can go get it.
One day.
It still was.
And let me tell you, I loaded my plate. But yeah, so for me, MSC, no on the food. And
all right, so for me, a dislike was the shower configuration. I'm not a big guy. I'm 6 feet, yeah, and I weigh like 185 pounds. So for me to get in there and I have to like open the shower door to be able to bend to wash my legs because I can't lift them up because it's too tight. The shower configuration was very tight. I'm not sure.
Well, I think the size of the shower maybe is about normal, but I think, in my opinion, it's where the shower head is. So you walk in the shower and the shower head's all the way in the corner, and you're like hitting your elbow everywhere, and you're like, what's happening?
It's a bad setup.
It's not a good one. I don't mind the size. It was the weird setup. So excuse me.
My next dislike was that there was smoking and vaping everywhere. It didn't matter where you were, inside, outside, they were vaping or smoking. A lot of that, I think, has to do with lack of signage and people not understanding, because I could see some servers or some pool guys come up and ask people, hey, you're not supposed to be smoking on this side of the ship. Yeah. I need you to go on that side. And the person didn't understand or see any signage.
And that's a personal thing. We just, that's just something that we don't like. But you guys might not have an issue with that. But that's a big one for us. So
a dislike, and which is a tip for you, the sports bar does serve food at a price. Which is really good, by the way. It was really good. If you want to pay for it, it's really good. But you can't order until after 6 p.m. And it's not, I don't believe it says that on the menu. It does not. It doesn't say it on the app. It doesn't say it on the menu, because we went there one day to have lunch instead of the buffet, and they're like, oh, we don't serve till 6. And we're like, uh-oh, like we had no food. But we did end up eating there, and it was really good. But that is kind of a dislike. The next dislike that we had, which she forgot food-wise, was Hola Tacos is open for lunch, and you can get a reservation. Hola Tacos is for pay. Yeah, you do have to pay. It's very cheap. I would say it's one of the cheaper pay for things. But we walked up thinking we might be able to get some lunch because there were only 5 people eating in the restaurant. And when we asked, the guy said, do you have a reservation? And I said, not really sure how to make one. No, but that's part of the dislike. We couldn't figure out how to make reservations. We couldn't do it on the app, and we're not dumb. We know how to use an app. We've done other cruises. Couldn't figure it out. They have video boards, like if you've been on a Norwegian cruise, that you can slide. it is very difficult to get through, at least for me,
Yeah.
in booking the reservation for like Hola Tacos
Yeah.
or any of the other specialty restaurants.
But the fact is, there were 5 tables seated, and they wouldn't let us sit, which I thought was kind of strange. We did eat at Hola Tacos one of the previous nights for dinner, and I was pretty good. I enjoyed it. Allowed to sit down for dinner without a reservation, but not for lunch. It was really strange. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, again, a lot of these are food related, I noticed. Dislikes I had was the demonstrations. Again, this is so minor, I know, but it really kind of bothered me. They had this demonstration for, I'm going to probably pronounce this wrong, Venki, the chocolate bar. I was really excited about that. They're supposed to show you how they make chocolate, talk to you a little about the kind of chocolate they use and things like that. They did it outside of where the Venki chocolate bar is, so there was more seating. But with that being said, there was no seating. A lot of people showed up, and we were not that far back, maybe 10, 15 feet back from where the chef was doing his demonstration at the table, and you couldn't hear anything. It was very disappointing.
Now, in saying all those dislikes, it still was a cruise.
Yeah.
We still had a great time.
Absolutely.
It's just we want anybody to seize this to be prepared so that they can set their expectations.
Yeah, and also give you, like some things that we heard that were not true for us, but I mean, you can go on them and you can get a different experience, but these are just, things we noticed for our first MSC cruise. We do have a few tips for you. I think we came up with like 10 or so. I mean, if you're interested, keep watching.
All right, here we go on the tips. Tip number 1, status match.
Yes.
If you're a first-time cruiser with MSC, they will match your status. Like if you're higher, like our highest one was with Disney Cruise Line.
Yeah.
So I use that to match to MSC's second highest level. All you got to do is go to their website, MSC Cruises. You'll be able to select the button to be able to put in your highest match, and you will send it off. They'll verify it, and then they'll send you whether or not you have been verified. Do it for everybody in your party, so that way everybody gets the higher status.
I have one little thing to add to that real quick. We did that, and with the status that we were matched to, we had a couple extra little perks that when we got on board, we noticed we did not receive. So we did have to go to the customer service desk and get a few of those taken care of. It took a couple days. Like one of them was a credit, like an onboard credit. And I think there was a gift that we were supposed to get in our room. That took a couple days to work out. But I will say the people at the customer service desk were fabulous. They were so nice and helpful, and yeah.
Number 2, I said about the sports bar, they serve food after 6 p.m., which was great.
Yeah.
That's on deck 8. Across from deck 8 is, I think it's the Lotus Cafe.
Something like that. It's a little bar area.
They serve cookies unless they are having a private event, and they are extremely good cookies. So it's worth going through to find out. I'm not a cookie person, and I really enjoyed their cookies.
I'm a cookie person. I'm really sad because we only had it one day. After we had the cookie, I was so mad that I couldn't get them anymore.
I stumbled upon it. It's a nice place to sit, too.
It is. It's quiet.
Yeah.
All right, tip number 3.
That was tip number 3.
Oh, that was tip number 3.
Tip number 4 is the muster drill. All right, so they send you to your room to watch the video on the muster.
Yeah.
And once you watch the muster, they have you call in a number to let them know that you have. You're supposed to wait until they call your floor to come down to your muster. But our room attendant had told us that just go ahead and head down as soon as you did, which we missed all the crowds. We went straight down.
So that's your tip. Don't wait. Once you watch the video, dial the number. It's like, I don't even know if it said anything, to be honest. I think it just said you're accounted for or whatever. Hang up the phone and go, because you will miss all of the crowds.
Because when we were coming back up the stairs, because they don't use the elevators during that time, it was easy peasy. You see people waiting.
Yeah.
And you're like, I was very thankful to the room attendant.
Yeah, because that was one of the things we had heard before getting on the ship, was that the muster is horrible and the crowds and the stairs. Yeah, don't wait, just go.
Tip number 5, bring water shoes to the private island. Because it is very corally, depending on which side you go. Even on the lagoon side, because it is a new beach and they put sand up, it is very corally and you do not want to be cutting your feet.
Yeah, because I think I had water shoes and you chose not to bring them and you regretted it a bit.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right, hold on. Let's see. Tip number 6.
6.
Okay, so one of our tips that we just kind of stumbled upon it because we weren't sure where area we were going to sit in for going onto Ocean Key. But go all the way to, I'm sorry, I wrote it down here. It's called Sunset Beach area. It is just a beautiful, quiet area. There's hardly anybody there. You're going to really enjoy that area. So, and the signs are pretty, you'll be able to find it. Just look for Sunset Beach. Okay, one more tip, and it involves Ocean Key, and that would be the nighttime celebration that they do on the island. I'm gonna just get this right. So at 7:30 they do a dance party, and at 7:45, according to the app, they're supposed to do a Junkanoo parade right there at the
welcome pavilion.
Yeah, the welcome pavilion. So we'd gotten off the island, or we gotten off the ship to get a good spot because we didn't know how crowded it was going to be. I've heard great things about the lighthouse show and things like that, and so I left my seat and went over to the welcome center so that I could see the parade because I was really interested in that. I thought it'd be a lot of fun, and there was no parade. So unless I totally missed it, and I even asked at the welcome center because there was a there was an employee there. And they were like, no, it's over by the beach. And so I ran back over by the beach. And Chad was like, nope, there's nothing going on here. Mm-mm. So that was a little disappointing because, I'm expecting some sort of entertainment and there wasn't any. Kind of like they had fire pits set up and a DJ. And I'm expecting this dance party on the beach. And, well, it wasn't.
Well, part of that, though, is us because I've watched multiple videos in which we've seen the parade. And we've seen the fire pit with the dance parties, and it's a lot more. So it could have just been our cruise.
Yeah, it wasn't actually it wasn't crowded at all. Mm-hmm. You can almost count the number of people that were there to watch the lighthouse show. So I don't know if people stayed on the ship to watch it, but a very small fraction of people got off the ship that night. But it was really nice. It was really cool being out there at night.
Yeah. We haven't been to a private island in which they have allowed us to stay that long.
No, so that was really nice. And the lighthouse show was really cool.
Yeah. And they did keep bar service open at 2 different spots near where the dance party was. So that was nice for people that want to be able to get some more drinks.
Yeah, and there's a bathroom station right there too. So it was really convenient. Another tip, I don't know what number we're on, maybe 8. I don't know, maybe you're paying attention.
I think we're at 9.
Okay, maybe it's 9. Anyway, respect the dinner times. So let me look. Dinner times were 5:30, 7:30, and 9:30. And when I say respect dinner times, it's because they won't let you in. Mm-mm. That was kind of a shock to us. We noticed they shut the doors.
Yeah.
15 minutes, I think, 10, 15 minutes after dinner time. So 5:45, 7:45, you're not getting in. I guess if you pitch a fit or whatever, but yeah, they are very serious. And so respect the dinner times if you want to eat.
Check your app. They do a lot of daily specials on massages and other...
That's another tip.
That'd be 10. So if you check, we were able to get $99 massages on Cancun Day, which was great. The odd thing for us is we're accustomed to if they charge you service fee, so 18% service fee.
Gratuity.
You think it's your gratuity for the massage. On MSC, that is not the case. The 18%, the MSC keeps, and the person giving you the massage doesn't get anything.
Yeah, so, and we didn't know this. We actually heard another person that was sailing. They had just gotten their nails done, and we kind of heard a little bit of a commotion. And so we were eavesdropping, and we found out, because she even told us later, she was like, yeah, she didn't know. She assumed that the gratuity she's paying that's added on goes to her nail tech, which we thought the same thing for the masseuse. And that's not the case. MSC keeps it. And someone else had told me that that's typical on other cruise lines. So if that's true, leave a comment below, because I didn't know this, and we don't keep a lot of cash on us on cruises because cruises are cashless. And we usually just, if we add extra tip, we just add it on the receipt. So I didn't know that. So after the massage, we just felt really bad that our masseuse did not get an extra tip from us.
We did find out that you can go to the guest services, and the guest
Yeah.
services can rectify and put an added tip to it. So that way you're able to go to guest service and add more if you like.
Yeah, I just thought that was kind of strange. And again, it could be typical on other cruises, and I just didn't know that. So, but I'd be curious to know. So if you know for sure, let us know. And the last thing I just want to talk about was debarkation. It's not really a tip, just to give you some information. We are the people that bring our suitcases off with us. We don't normally leave them outside the night before. We like to be one of the first people off. So I have this written down just because I wanted to give you an idea how quick it is to get off the ship in the morning if you are wanting to get off quickly. I know customs can alter this, but if there's no issues with customs, this would probably be it. So we left our room about 7:15 in the morning. We did the express walk-off, which was supposed to start at 7:45 is what we were told. So we went down to deck 6 and we already noticed the line. So we just hopped in the line, and which was already moving, by the way. So again, we left our room 7:15, 30 minutes before it was supposed to start, and the people were already heading off the ship. So we were on the gangway by 7:31 and we were through customs by 7:45. So just to give you an idea, if you need to get off the ship early, it's possible. Again, I hate to say don't listen always to the exact times they say. Like if you're in a hurry, get there a little early. I mean, they might be ready to go and get you off that ship. So hopefully this helped. Hopefully it gives you some information if you're about to take an MSC cruise. Stay tuned. We've got a big 2024 headed your way. We'll try to document as much as we can.
I say that if you get a good deal on an MSC cruise, take it.
Yeah.
I mean,
we paid like $1,400 for a 7-night, included Wi-Fi, included drinks. I mean, we're not in any means complaining. It was a great trip. It was just, there were some things if we got another great deal, we'd probably do it again.
Maybe if it was the Meraviglia.
Yeah, different ship maybe. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next adventure.